watching. I know you're already smart enough to realize lifting weights won't make you bulky. You need to drink enough water every day and get in enough protein. And if you didn't, there's some bonus ones. During my Wellness Diaries series, there's a few things that I've started that I wish I could go back in time and tell younger Keltie, do this now, do this. If I'd only started these 2 years ago.
No regrets.
10 things I would tell my former self to start if I had to redo my whole fitness journey. Number 1, prioritize sleep. Bonus, make your bed. Feeling bloated? Sleep more. Weird cravings? Sleep. Breaking out? Sleep. Too many times in the past, I'd start a new plan. Maybe I want to get shredded. Maybe I want to put on muscle. Maybe I want to get faster. Whatever the goal was, I'd have some kind of plan. I'd be following it for a week and then everything would go wrong. I'm bloated. I'm breaking out. Peanut butter and pickle starts to sound it. No, I'm not pregnant. What's going on? Is the program wrong? I feel guilty and I have to start everything over. Maybe try a new plan, and I'm constantly trying new plans because it's not working. Keltie, you're going to bed at 1 a.m. Getting up at 5 a.m. because you're grinding at the gym. You're a fitness girly. Putting in the hours. Gary V. At no point did I say, you're not sleeping. That's why you're bloated. Sleep. Don't grind. Sleep. Productivity. In bed by 10. Sleep till 7. 8 hours. Wellness. Document everything. Obviously, there's progress photos, the infamous scale, but that's not what I'm referring to. If I went back, obviously I would take 1,000 before photos, but not just of my body. I'd take videos of my run stride, my squat, my first time at the splits, my yoga flow, all baseline fitness I'd take a video of. Even like my skin. And I have some videos and I cherish them so much because it shows how much I've improved. And then I'm no longer comparing myself to other people, I'm just comparing myself to myself. The reason I think weighing yourself in progress pictures are so negative is because that's all you concentrate on. I think knowing your weight shouldn't be a big deal. It should just be like getting your blood pressure. It's just one stat. If you have everything documented, you can check back because progress isn't linear. You're not just gonna lose weight like this. You're not just gonna gain muscle like this. It's gonna be like and that's so discouraging. But if you have everything and you're feeling discouraged about your weight and you're in a weight loss journey, you go check your yoga flow and you're like, look how much more mobile I am. I am improving. Actually see your progress as a whole and not just like hyper fixate on one thing. I love a good supplement as much as the next person. I'm guilty of buying so many. And still, to this day, there's many I love. But there's a weird dopamine hit you get from buying supplements. And most are useless. If I could go back in time, I would tell 18 or 21-year-old Keltie, stop spending money on supplements that sit in your cabinet for 2 years that you never use and buy new workout shoes. Here's how all my running shoes looked up till about 2 years ago. This. Notice this heel? Oh, there is none. Because I wore these for 3 years and there's absolutely no sweat. Those are for gardening. Oh, I have shin splints. My calves are tight and my feet are always sore. And Mom, why am I in so much pain? And then my mom would be like, when was the last time you bought shoes? 2 years ago, but they still work and I don't want to spend money on that. Didn't you just buy $100 of new supplements you saw on Instagram that someone convinced you to buy? That's beside the point. I tell myself, stop wasting money on all these trendy supplements. Just stick to the basics. A protein powder if you don't feel like eating meat, AG1, omega-3s, a probiotic when you're traveling or just took antibiotics, and electrolytes. And spend the extra money on a good pair of running shoes, and when the heel's worn out, throw them out, a good pair of cross trainers, and a good pair of weightlifting shoes. But speaking of supplements, jokes aside, younger Keltie, don't fear salt. To anyone who has medical conditions, this might not be applicable to you. In my late teens, early 20s, everywhere I read told me salt makes you bloat, and that every model cut out salt to look absolutely shredded. And it was probably the worst fitness advice I was ever given. In college, I was playing university basketball, working out a lot, and then I went to my fitness girl era, doing cardio, weights every single day. And I'd wake up in the middle of the night with debilitating calf cramps. I mean, I'd wake up and it felt like I did 3,000 calf raises. Also, mid-workout, I'd have this weird hunger thirst that really made my performance drop. Then I learned when you sweat, your body eliminates not just water, but electrolytes. So, Even if you're hydrating, it doesn't matter. You need electrolytes. Don't fear salt, especially at this time. I was moving on from my processed food 18-year-old self, just living off McDonald's, Monopoly days, and Tim Hortons, and I was getting into my clean eats era. Means a lot of plain food, so my sodium dropped. I wish I could tell my former self, salt your food, add electrolytes to all your workouts, and don't fear salt. Literally, to the day I started adding salt was the day my calf cramps went away. To the day. Oh. Young Keltie ate so much bland chicken. Okay, so the audio for the next minute at the gym is absolute trash. Instead of making you guys sit through that hell, I decided to attempt to dub over my own voice, so enjoy, and please rank my dubbing out of 10 in the comments. Finds the perfect workout plan, does it completely incorrectly. Too many times I'd be months into a workout plan, not seeing any results, only to find out the plan was completely worthless unless I'm actually executing it properly, which I wasn't because I wasn't using proper form. The secret to a viral Instagram fitness post: booty, abs. But let's be real, butts and abs are 50% genetics and sometimes 100% surgery. I used to train with the absolute goal of getting 6 chicken nugget abs and an absolute dumpy of a booty. Now looking back, I wasted so much time on just trying to get a little bit more ab definition, a little bit bigger butt with like no return on investment for my life. But your core, your glutes are actually like the biggest powerhouse for your posture, athletic performance, well-being in terms of things to train. So I started focusing on not the aesthetics of them, but improving the performance and overall endurance and strength of my abs and glutes. And I felt like my quality of life actually improved because less pain. I was faster, I was stronger, I could do more. Mobility improves everything. I spent a good 5 years growing my booty with like 0 to no return. The year I started stretching, I then started each workout increasing my hip mobility. And I realized I was never actually able to engage my full glute muscles because I couldn't actually move my full glute muscles because my lack of mobility limited my full range of motion. At this point, we've all heard that we need to do 10,000 steps a day for our well-being. But young Keltie took that to extreme, got a Fitbit, and developed a step addiction. Younger Keltie, don't track your steps. Instead, just go on walks every day for your creativity. Almost every musician, artist, writer I've researched goes on walks. And there's something so magical when you're working on something. You're overwhelmed by it. You go outside, you go on a walk, and boom, problem solved. And so instead of using my walks as
like, I have to get 10,000 steps for my well-being,
I just am like, every day go on a walk for your like, rejuvenate your creativity. This is really weird, but I regret this so much. Every month, I make a new playlist. I'll call it like January 2022. And I've honestly done this since 2016, 2017. Jackie, go drink some water. Worried about your hydration. Oh, and I know the playlist thing seems so weird, but they're one of my most cherished things. When I go back and listen to any of those playlists, it puts me right back to where I was. Who's there? Hello. Say I go and listen to June 2018. It puts me right back to where I was in June 2018, and all those memories and vibes or heartbreaks or joyous times out with friends, I'm like right back there. But what I started doing like 2 years ago is doing those for my workouts. Does anyone else go through those like fitness phases where I'm like, I'm really into my weightlifting, I'm in my Pilates phase, I'm in my running? You were in it and then you lose it, and they're trying to get back into it. I want to get strong again. I go back to May 2019 when I was in my lifting phase. I listened to that playlist and I'm like, yes, I'm right back there. If I want to get in my Pilates girls, I go to like my June 2020 and I'm like mentally right back into there. And yes, I actually started doing this on my own Spotify. So if you follow me on Spotify, I got them for you. Something I suffered with since I can remember. I'd say around 2 to 6 p.m. I have this feeling, and it's kind of hunger. It's kind of exhausted. I feel buzzed but depleted, this tightness, and food doesn't cure it, caffeine doesn't cure it, water doesn't cure it, and I could never find out what it was. And I've had the aha moment in the last little while is dopamine depletion. I've been going all morning, I've been working out, I've been creative work, or I was in university studying, or I had basketball practice in the morning and then just did a test. I still have to go bartend, or I have a basketball game, and it's always this midday where I'm just like, am I hungry? Should I get chocolate, a protein bar? Do I need a sandwich? Do I need a coffee, a Red Bull? Do I need a nap? All I needed was this. I tell 20-year-old Keltie to chill out. Andrew Huberman was the one who opened my eyes to this. And I now do this midday when I have that feeling. I just pause, I stop, and I go, and it's like the world just quiets. Oversimplifying, and that's not always the solution, but I just really wish I could tell younger Keltie, like, when you're overwhelmed or you don't know what you need, just stop. Stop trying to solve the problem and just stop and breathe. And it's crazy how often that has truly like reset me. My dopamine levels come back up a little bit. I realize sometimes I'm like, it wasn't that I was not motivated, I just need to stop. And ironically, stopping is what motivated me to perform better. Those are my 10 things. One bonus I will include, anything you implement, do it for at least a couple weeks. Do your research ahead of time and give yourself time to see if it actually works. Because something I was really guilty of is do all this research, be super excited about it, do it for 3 days. Usually I see the opposite result. There's always shocks to your system. Progress isn't linear. And so I tell myself, you know what, if you implement it, just give it time to actually see results. Don't just assume because after a couple days it's not working doesn't mean it won't work in the future. I wish I had my first time I did a splits video. I wish I didn't spend all that time fearing salt. And I just wish I slept more. And it's so basic, but oh my God, I just think of like 19-year-old Keltie just grinding and being so disappointed with herself when like she didn't see results. And I was working so hard. So here's me saying it to you, because I wish I could say to my former self, just get at least 7 hours. You're a growing woman. You need it. Let me know down in the comments. I would love to hear from you guys. Is there anything that you regret not doing in the beginning of your fitness journey? Whether it be the most basic things we all know, or just those little things like just taking a video. I'd love to hear. Comment those down below. And most importantly, have a great day. Go pet a dog. Love you guys. Bye.